All right, Trump talking about the Islamic Republic of Japan, and Jeb Bush in Florida is talking about kamikaze drones today. And I did a video the other day talking about North Korea saying they'll bomb Israel, and then we could bomb Iran, and then China bombs us, and these little tit for tats or whatever. And then Putin mentioned the tit for tats, and we got the Gulf of America for that golf hole in one, and then the Putin, those types of things. So we see some things being matched around since I did that video and the TT wedding, and them seem to be lining up that long shot on Trump and such in one way, shape, or form. And the long shot might attach to where Joe Rogan told or said Vance and Trump need to stay like 10 miles away from each other. Either way, the long shot can be where they take out DC and that DC current, that direct hit, those kinds of things. But Trump's talking about the #1 hit on the TikTok and #1 hit on hit list of Iran, and that's part of that record player. The NATO summit where Trump was dwarfed is talking about heights and such, but this is also tying on from one peak to the other peak and the high stakes summits and such. But this is going from, it says Trump's height is 75 inches. The 7 on the Roman calendar is September. So it's tying into 7, that would be 9/5. And then 9/5 ties into the destruction number. Got into this long time ago, 2021, 2022. The equivalent to 6 feet 3 inches, 6 Dutch King. That ties into the Mitch McConnell and the THC, the HEMP, and those things. The TX, the Trump X for Biden, X for Elon, the X at the Twitter, the Sync, and all that shit. So the 6-2 on a flip-flop, the 7 or the 9-2, 9-3, 9-5. July 4th be the 9-4, and then 9-7 marks the 250th day. So we're watching these 25 carrying over, and the 2027 is a 25 on the subtrack with the year. So, and the 25 on 9/11, all those types of things. So, your September, your sepulcher, the tomb, the crypto, going into the stable, the stop sign, the pot sign, the president of the United States, the POTUS, that is tied into your red octagon, the UFC, the CFU. CFU was mentioned after the UFC fight on the White House. So all those things are being tied together. The kamikaze drones, the Willy Wonka Kamala, or the Willy Wonka Mala, is lining up, and the Willy Wonka with the Texas and Greg Bottom and Empire and those types of things for the wheelchair man and the Hot Wheels. The Hot Wheels would also tie into the transporters and those types of things for the for the 78, 88, and the 88 miles an hour on the 1122 ISO release. Where's that date at? It doesn't matter. It's somewhere, guys. Either way, fuck, hold on. 7/29/7/30 is the 8-month, 8th day marker on the ISO 222. All right, so the incubation and Trump is with the NATO with threats on the green land, the ice land, the Mexico, the Cuba, the Colombia, and this tying into the Chad and the Chuck and the Erica, and the stone lays for a cliff dwelling, and a Michiko, and the incubation for the Sheenan bomb and the Panama Canal, the Skeletor face and the He-Man, and those types of things. But the secrets out of the bag and those types of things would all be kind of lining up in one way, shape, or form. And the 111 missiles and the Melania, Elon Musk just turning 55 and Melania turning the 56. And Elon that's taking us into the 57, 27. And then he's mentioned with the drones and stuff with Iran and Trump with the Grok or whatever. So let's see what else there is. The Friday, that 9/4, Friday Night Lights, the prenup, the 20 million, contract killers, the cheetahs at the table, 70 miles an hour, the African plains, the African plains tying into your Savannah and the missing grandma and the missing grandma, the thousands, and those thousands for the sands of time, and the trash cans, and they're selling trash as treasure down there at the TT wedding. Anyways, folks, that TT wedding and the double cross on America, and Mitch McConnell just turned he's 84 on the 2/2/27, another 2/2 clock. He turns 85, and that's tying into your Back to the Future, your part 1. And these things, as your part 1 and 2 and 3 are kind of all overlapping at one time. It's going to the blockbuster session. As if you've been following along, channels like mine or whatever, we've been putting together the part 2 and 3 for that theater. That theater session is at the viewing right now. So as that theater session is being watched, and then those people who are catching on and seeing and hearing or whatever, that they are seeing the movie as well in a way, and then then it's all gonna go boom, boom, boom into the blockbuster session, and then like the blockbusters where they're showing like people are leaving movies instead of books and stuff, where you can borrow the movie and whatever. This is like another prophecy play on the blockbusters coming back onto the streets, and how these things, sands of time and whatever, flip-flop and whatever else. But either way, the Colombia and the Cuba, the Russia, Colombia, the Petro Gustavo, the Gus and the Sick, the Deer Boy, and all that stuff would be tying together. The Hunter before the Nimrod, and the Nimrod ties into your Rats of Nim and the lab rats and the experiments and all that stuff for your Jab Bush, the Hive and the Queen for the HIV part 1, the HIV and Hive, whatever we've been in, and now it's going to be HIV part 2 and those types of things. And then you get Trump's aide doing this, Trump aide doing that, and either way. So AI ID, where you have to do your biometric scan to use the World Village, okay? That has been placed upon the earth, and you need your shrinks right now because the earth is shrinking, and you're loaded down with the heavy metals, and as the earth shrinks, you get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can't cope with whatever because you're like in a mix of two worlds or whatever. You haven't like fully gone into the new world, but you can't go into the new world because you didn't hear them telling you how to load your fridge up, and you didn't read the book with the 20 guidelines of how they're lying to you, and you never read the history of brainwashing, and you never went to school for advertising or art and learned fucking perspective and light and whatever else that teaches you, hey, we're not spinning on a ball and all kinds of goofy shit. But we won't get too deep into things, but that 9-2 for that 245th day with 120 left on that combo for that counterclockwise, as we got this counterintelligence going on right now as I'm standing at the kitchen counter. Okay, so the Ghislaine Maxwell and the charge is, and that CC ride her, the space race, the Bezos, the AZ on, the, where was it? Either way, the Virgin Galactic, the Richard Branson, the Richard is tying into your dick, your dictator, all those types of things. So, yeah, I think we might have connected enough here. Oh, China bomb. Oh, let's just get into some little things. But like if Korea bombed Israel, Trump bombs Iran, China bombs America, we bomb Russia, Russia bombs us, those kinds of things. You get your Satan missile and whatever else. Or he's got Islamic Republic of Japan. That's where Korea bombs Japan. And then we can bomb Korea. Korea's made a pact with Putin. Russia bombs us. We bomb China. And then Russia bombs us again with the bigger one. Those types of things we can see as a little sands of time in that DNA helix and whatever else plays out. So, the vegetable, the vegan, the Tallarico, the Rico, the Richard. The Rico is also the uncle for the Napoleon Dynamite. And Napoleon Dynamite with, I forget his name, the brother who hooks up with LaFonda or whatever her name. Either way, see some black and white kind of thing coming out. We're also seeing the couples where we're seeing the legal pedoism, where they're like 25 or 20, but they're like 55 or 60 or whatever. This ties into the gold diggers and the cougars and what else. The cougars tied into the Egyptian cat worship for that queen who sits to the right hand of the king. And you're going to see where the woman has actually been kind of controlling the White House through her husband and those kinds of things. And we're going to see these like in a flip-flop pattern, is where you have like Jill, where you're seeing it like behind scenes and to the light and those types of things. Either way, folks, it's going to get good. As you got your third party lining up, Tucker Carlson coming in with that Tucker headlight and the 48 to the Israel, the fake Israel, the prop that we've been under, created by that old good spirit of Hitler. Okay? So if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't even have that and this and whatever else. And all those time traveling scientists and whatever came over here and started the CIA, and now we got some crazy shit going on and whatever else. And either way, folks, we're here and it's happening and it's live. So as we're at that NATO to NATO, the OTAN to OTAN, and that Lee Greenwood is singing the song for the spirit of the dragon, the Hebrews Lee. And the dragon turns 53 years dead this year, as he's in that 52, the 25, the 22 flip, and all these little things as you're in the House of Mirrors and the 11:11. hallway for that salon for the Thessalonians. All right, so either way, we'll end it here, folks.